Hey, what's going on, you guys? The Keith Carnes, and today I'm bringing you a video, a wrestling related video. Obviously by the title you can tell what this is about. It's about the Undertaker streak ending at WrestleMania 30 against Brock Lesnar. A lot of people in the wrestling world have been abuzz about it since it's happened back on April 6th, and for good reason, because it's something I don't think any of us really expected to ever happen. At least I'm one of those people that never expected it to happen. I did watch WrestleMania 30. I didn't put up a review of it because I didn't have the time to upload a whole review on the pay-per-view, which would have probably taken me 10 to 15 minutes to review. And so much time has passed, it's kind of seems irrelevant for me to even review the pay-per-view now that, you know, it's almost been a month since the show happened. So I just decided to just not even bother with it. But there was one thing I wanted to go over, and that's the biggest thing that happened at WrestleMania 30. Which was the Undertaker's streak coming to an end. He's now 21-1 at WrestleMania 30. Well, at WrestleMania period, not just at 30. So, I want to give my thoughts on the Undertaker because I have covered the Undertaker in the past. I've talked about whether he was going to come back full time, and if I ever, I think I've even talked about if his streak will ever end. If I haven't, well, I never thought it would. But it's ended. And under very, very surprising circumstances, to say the least. He lost his streak to Brock Lesnar in a very, very lackluster match. It was definitely, I would actually label it as possibly being the Undertaker's worst WrestleMania match ever. And of course it has nothing, absolutely zero to do with him actually losing the match. The match itself was just garbage. Even if the Undertaker would have won and went 22-0, which everybody expected to happen, it still would have been one of his worst matches, regardless of the outcome. So, I think, you know, a lot of people have a big problem with the Undertaker losing to Brock Lesnar. A lot of people have been mad about it. A lot of people have been bitching about it in the internet wrestling community, the IWC in other words. And a lot of people are mad. A lot of people are like, why would WWE do this? Why would they give it to Lesnar? Lesnar didn't need it, blah, 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 blah. But first of all, we all know, at least if you're a huge fan like me and you know a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff, you know that the Undertaker has full creative control over his character, over his streak, which, let's face it, is a scripted streak. It's not even a legit streak, or wasn't a legit streak. And it's always been up to Undertaker when it would end. Now, there was something that was said before the streak ended, that Brock Lesnar was always the pick by the Undertaker to lose. To defeat the streak. He was always Undertaker's pick because I guess he and Lesnar are really good friends in real life, and for whatever reason, Undertaker has always pinned Lesnar to the streak ending. And with Lesnar returning to the company back in 2012, this, I guess, opened the book, well, not the book, but opened the door of opportunity to the Undertaker losing the streak sometime in the future to Lesnar, which ended up actually happening. A lot of people are mad about it, but I don't really see why. It wasn't WWE's choice, it was Undertaker's choice. I think Mark Calloway, known as The Undertaker, I think he wanted to end the streak because his career is pretty much over. The guy was very, very sad to watch in the ring. He's not the Undertaker he used to be. He's not the wrestler he used to be. And it's definitely about that time for the Undertaker to step away from the ring permanently. In other words, it's time for the Undertaker to retire. And I think he didn't want the streak to be something that was never taken, you know. Another reason the Undertaker lost at WrestleMania was because that's tradition in the old school days, is that when you retire, you go out a loser. Now, not in a negative way, though. I'm not saying you go out and, oh, you're a fucking loser. No. You lose and you put over the future. That's what you do. Or you put over somebody that's going to continue wrestling and you help their character. It's a respect type thing. And it's happened before. The Rock defeated Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 19 back in 2003, 11 years ago. And that was Stone Cold's retirement match. And the Rock defeated him. and that helped The Rock's career boost. Not that The Rock really needed it, but it definitely helped The Rock. Then you had Shawn Michaels defeat Ric Flair back in 2008 at WrestleMania 24, and that only boosted Shawn Michaels' career. Even though HBK would retire 2 years later against The Undertaker, it was still, cool to see HBK retire Ric Flair. And then in 2010, we saw The Undertaker retire Shawn Michaels. So it's tradition. It's just the old tradition that in your retirement match, you lose. And The Undertaker, I think he was like, you know what, WrestleMania 30 is going to be it for me. There's no point in caring about a streak that was scripted. I was always meant to keep this streak as long as I wanted it. And it's time to not only end my career, but it's also time to end the most infamous streak in professional wrestling history. And I think that's why The Undertaker did it. Undertaker saw the reality that Mark Calloway, as a person, saw that his body is done. He's done mentally, probably, definitely physically, probably mentally, and just wants to be done with wrestling as far as a physical aspect goes. So I definitely think that's a big reason. Now people say, why Lesnar? Well, like I stated earlier, Lesnar is good friends with Mark Calloway, The Undertaker. But also, Lesnar is a more believable character that could defeat the streak. He's the most physical guy I think that Undertaker has ever faced at WrestleMania, and he's the most, probably, maybe they figured he was the most believable, but I think if Undertaker was going to end it in a realistic standpoint in the wrestling ring, it would have definitely been better for him to retire the streak against Triple H or maybe Shawn Michaels. But in the end, it was his choice, and he made the choice. He went with the choice that was best for him, and I can't really be mad at that. It sucks that it had to come to an end. It sucks to see The Undertaker come to an end, but the guy's gonna be 50 years old next year. How long can he really keep doing this? How long can he keep going until it just becomes pathetic? And it's really kind of the point where it's almost pathetic to watch him in the ring. I was watching him during the match at WrestleMania 30, and I couldn't believe how much he aged just between last year at WrestleMania 29 to WrestleMania 30. It was amazing. It was almost like he aged 10 years in a year. And I am definitely happy he made the call to end his career. It sucks, like I said, it sucks to see him go, but, that's reality, and the reality is age has definitely caught up with the dead man, and it's definitely time for Taker to go. So, that's my thoughts on it. I support it because I know it was Mark Calloway's choice. I don't think anybody should be pissed about it. In the end, it's wrestling. I love wrestling as much as the next person, but it's all scripted, it's all pre-planned, and it's not like he was screwed over. It was his choice to end the streak against Lesnar. So, that was his choice, and that's his right. It was his character, it was his streak, so, he was ready for it to be done, and it's over. It's over and done with. It's no longer existent, and so far the wrestling world has pretty much moved on. So, that's really my thoughts on it. So, it was a great run with The Undertaker. Definitely one of, if not the best character ever in the wrestling industry, in the history of wrestling. And yeah, so this is Z. Keith Carnes. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next.